Hello and welcome to this special edition of Talking Point. Singapore is getting ready for the polls. The long-awaited electoral boundaries report was released earlier this week, carving out constituencies that will be contested in the next general election. There will be 12 single-member wards, including 8 new ones, as well as smaller Group Representation Constituencies, or GRCs, where 4 to 6 candidates are elected together as a team. Now that the battle lines have been drawn, how will political parties work out their campaign strategies? I have with me in studio this evening Pt1 political commentator and former co-host of Talking Point, Ms. Indrani Raja, Member of Parliament for Tanjong Pagar GRC, who's also a member of the ruling People's Action Party's Central Executive Committee, Goh Singh, Secretary General of the Opposition National Solidarity Party, Kenneth Jayaratnam, Secretary General of the Reform Party, Eric Tan, Treasurer of the Workers' Party, which currently has 1 seat in Parliament, and Michael Palmer, MP for Pasir Ris Punggol GRC, whose current area, Punggol East, has been carved out as a single-member ward. Now, everyone, welcome to the program. Indrani, let's start with you.
Right.
The changes which were announced recently, how surprised were you all by them, and how significant were they to you?
Well, we got news of the changes pretty much the same time as everybody else. And I think that these changes are good because they're going to make for an exciting election. They make good on what PM promised, which was, more SMCs, more opportunity for contests. You can see that in the way the battle lines are drawn. And it's shaping up to be, I think, a good election.
May saying more opportunities for contests, what are you all doing about it?
Well, not really more, because all of our 3 SMCs have been dissolved into GRCs, like Yio Chu Kang, MacPherson, as well as this Yishun Central.
Those which you contested in the last election.
Yeah, correct. So to us, it's actually pretty bad for us. So we are looking into new territories. Of course, things have to be refined. So it is not very optimistic for us in that sense. No?
Kenneth, SMCs 12 now compared to 9 before. Will you be contesting in some or all of them?
Being newbie what's on the block, the changes affect us less than WP and NSP. What I do notice is they've carved out 4 new SMCs in the West, which perhaps they're hoping that we'll take the bait or I'll stand in one of the SMCs and the ruling party won't risk losing a GRC on the Reform Party's first outing.
All right, and Eric, the Workers' Party has said this is gerrymandering as the first response to the way the electoral boundaries were carved out. Why so?
Well, you took the words out of my mouth. Gerrymandering is one word I'll describe the entire process, because if you look at Aljunied, the population shift was almost minimal. I think in 2006 was 151,000 residents, and today it's about 152,000 residents, and yet we lost 29,000 residents, moved into Ang Mo Kio and Pasir Ris Punggol GRC, from the areas where we have contested, and we know we have strong support. And then in addition, they gave us 20,000 residents from, guess where? Marine Parade GRC. So clearly, if this is not gerrymandering, I can't say anything more.
Michael.
And then in East Coast, where I contested, we lost Opera Estate, and there again we know we had strong support. And in Juchet, the Sleece area all went into Marine Parade. So again, smacks of gerrymandering.
Okay, Michael, what's your response to that?
Yeah, gerrymandering is a very common refrain that's spouted out every time the boundaries change. And I think that this is nothing new. At the end of the day, if you've been working the ground consistently and you've got your support there and people know you, then whichever way the boundaries change, you're ready to go. So, for instance, in the Northeast, we've got 2 new SMCs there. We've got Sengkang West and we've got Punggol East. I happen to be the MP incumbent in one of those areas. I think it's going to prove for an interesting fight. I mean, they're new areas. They're fairly young population, particularly in Sengkang West. Punggol East maybe a slightly older in generation, but fairly new areas. And you're going to see a good contest, I think.
Can I say something about
Sure,
gerrymandering?
of course. Yes.
Yeah, because
it's about you, yes.
Yes, of course. Sorry about that. No, you see, the thing is this, right? Those are not the only areas affected. Look at Jalan Besar. It's been carved up. But I don't hear anybody saying that's gerrymandering.
Yes,
but think of how tough it is for the PAP MPs who've been there on the ground.
Yes.
You look at Hong Kong, that's carved up as well. It affects the incumbent people just as much as anybody else. And for Joo Chiat is now, it's in SMC. It's got a part of East Coast, but it makes it easier to contest there. So I think that the changes affect not just opposition. My point is that they affect the PNP candidates as well.
But hang on, let me ask Baji to comment on gerrymandering.
Yeah, this
issue-laden term.
This word, gerrymandering, is an extremely controversial word. So maybe I will use this phrase called some intriguing redrawing. One intriguing redrawing is what Eric mentioned about Alginate. At one level, I'm very glad Alginate didn't disappear. At another level, I asked the question that Eric asked. You have two areas going to one to Prime Minister's constituency, another going to the DPM's constituency, and then most intriguing is something from SM's constituency comes to Alginate. So that's one. The other one that intrigues me is Nee Soon. Two single seats, Nee Soon South, Nee Soon Central, have been combined into one. Why intriguing? Because the speculation is that the MPs in those two areas are not going to fight the elections. Yes. So that makes it a bit more intriguing.
Is it fair to use the term gerrymandering?
As I said, gerrymandering is a very, very loaded word. Yes. Gerrymandering has been that word has been used in American politics. Right? So I would prefer to use this term called intriguing redrawings.
Okay, perhaps the reality is in every election the electoral boundaries are redrawn and nobody's happy at the end of it.
Would be nice.
We would be nice.
MPs for the PAP as well might say it's not fair, I vote the ground and it's gone. Suddenly I've got thrown into another. So,
in fact, you've had that response from someone like Ho Peng Ki, who's upset.
Because he's
We'd like to see transparency in the workings of a boundary review committee, if it could reveal some of the rationale for its decision.
No.
Yes.
To us, redrawing the boundary is not to cater for the ruling party's inability to fill people, to replace people like Sin Han Tong, right? Just like Ong Ah Heng, it should be transparent. And in fact, before PAP took over power, redrawing of boundaries involving opposition parties in the process. If you want to be open and transparent, I think opposition parties.
You're talking about Bill 59.
Yes. Can I just jump in on this? Because I think this whole question of gerrymandering actually comes about and sometimes gains some kind of currency is because the committee doesn't explain why it made certain decisions, right? Maybe they have very good reasons, but somehow these reasons don't come out into the public sphere. And when they don't come out into the public sphere, then people begin to speculate.
They were just general guidelines which they went by, which is population growth and new growth, large, new population shifts. In, for instance, Pasir Ris Punggol is much larger. There are younger families. So those were some of the brief reasons which they gave. So perhaps you all are asking for even more.
No, I think there's one other reason with the Prime Minister saying before the committee was formed that he wants at least 12 single seats and fewer. So he put that as
why eliminate Choa Chu Kang SMC, for instance, and create a new one next door in Hong Kong North?
And you have Yio Chu Kang, who was created last election and now is gone.
Okay, Yio Chu Kang was always there, to be fair. Actually, let me put it this way. Okay, in 2001 election, when there were certain constituencies were drawn out because there were obvious personalities spoiling for a fight there. If you remember, McPherson was carved out, and Yio Chu Kang was carved out. And I don't know whether the more neutral stance taken this time, which that's my view, that is a bit more, is perhaps it's a positive development and we're moving forward. Would you all acknowledge that at least there's a bit more transparency in that manner, and that it's about creating more single member constituencies? The first time we've ever done this, we are going, instead of reducing the number of single member constituencies, there are now more. Did you expect more?
Well, that's maybe at this point we should ask the question: what is the purpose of the Electoral Boundary Committee? What drives them? Is it to tailor to PAP ministers who are retiring? Is it for special fights? maybe we should find out what is, is it population shift slowly? And then from there we have a basis to work on.
And it's unfair for the PAP people to say that, oh, we didn't walk the ground, no? And if we walk all the ground, we should be okay, right? Because we are not an MP, first of all. We have limited resources, right? If it's suddenly from Pongo, if we are not contesting that, we don't walk the ground there. Right?
Yeah, maybe we look at it this way.
Even the boundaries,
A long-time complaint is that, not enough SMCs. It doesn't give opposition a chance. PM has given more SMCs. Another complaint was, GRC is too big, mega-sized GRCs.
Yes.
You should have smaller GRCs. Now there are smaller GRCs.
Yeah, but
there has been a very definite response to some of this feedback. That's what's happened, and you have to look at it on the larger plane, which is that going forward this election, is there going to be opportunity for contest? Yes. Is there going to be opportunity for opposition to demonstrate whether or not there's support for them? The answer is yes, and I think we should take it at that level.
All right, I'm sorry, we have to go for a short break right now. When we come back, we'll discuss the strategies which all the parties will be deploying in their campaigning. Stay with us.